and thank you very much for having me here today. So the idea of this little session that we have here is to give you a little bit of an impression what we are doing at Deutsche Telekom right now and what the idea is behind it, but also then after that to dive into potential use case sectors that you guys could dive into during the hackathon, to give you a little bit food for thought for the projects that you could be building or working on when joining the Telco track. All right, let's dive in. First of all, you guys might ask yourself why Deutsche Telekom is even in this space right now, right? Deutsche Telekom, we are like a telco company, and doing some crypto stuff might at first glance seem a little bit far away, but actually it is not as far as you might think. So let me tell you why we are even in this whole space right now. So, Deutsche Telekom at its heart and at its core is an infrastructure company. Since more than 20 years, we are already providing infrastructure for the mobile phone, maybe through like all the telco towers or just enabling you to be able to call your friends via phone. We also, since I think also it's more than 20 years now, are providing infrastructure for the internet in form of cables that we are digging out in the ground, connecting everybody or trying to connect everybody to the internet, the Web 1 and the Web 2, but also the Web 3 to some extent. And also we are trying to do like a very good job here. We are not covering everything yet here in Germany, but yeah, ongoing process. Don't blame me. Yeah, but at some point you also need to figure out as a telco company where to position yourself for the future. And since 4 years now, we are providing infrastructure for public blockchain networks in form of multiple things. So for instance, we started back in the day, let me move a little bit forward to give you a little bit of an idea what we have been doing over the years. We started with Oracle services, joining the Chainlink decentralized Oracle network. There we are providing price feed data to the Ethereum blockchain right now. So decentralized apps like lending protocols, for instance, can have the right data on certain feeds like Ethereum to USDT or some R0 price feeds. I'm not sure if we are yet providing R0 price feeds, but maybe at some point to the Ethereum blockchain as well. After that, because that worked quite well, Chainlink is still like a very big part of our infrastructure business. We also dove into the area of providing infrastructure on the consensus level, particularly proof of stake based consensus blockchains. Back in the day, it was like Flow, the first trial that we gave. You might know it from like these GIFs from NBA Top Shots. And that also worked out quite well. So we have been continuously building out our infrastructure business on the staking side. And we also, even at the end of last year, we made our way to the Aleph Zero blockchain. Yeah, we have a little bit of experience with Substrate already through Polkadot, but of course it's super cool to also have onboarded the Aleph Zero network, particularly with the privacy aspects that come with certain smart contracts. So yeah, we are very excited here, and we are also very excited about potential use cases that this enables, because right now we have only been on the infrastructure layer, but also you're probably not really interested in all these 1,000 networks here. So let's dive into the potential use cases to give you a little bit of an idea what you could be working on. This because we also in the past have done something similar on the hackathon side. So here are some ideas that could help you also if you do not yet have any ideas to work on, to give you a little bit of direction. So there are 5 segments. Firstly, what is currently very big on the Web 2 side within Deutsche Telekom is this whole customer engagement and loyalty topic. So basically, improving the way that we interact with our customers, and also giving them or getting them more attached to Deutsche Telekom, to incentivize them to use telecom services, or even uh, to reward them for doing so. And with Web3 and new ownership models like token-based topics like NFTs or loyalty tokens, there might be potential use cases like cool, fun ideas to get our customers a little bit more excited about using Deutsche Telekom services, or like yeah, some internet contracts. And Web3 can play a part here, especially when it comes to these loyalty tokens or NFTs. You can do this in a tokenized form, and you can do this in a very fun way. Deutsche Telekom is not the most fun company, but the crypto space is quite fun. So I'm very sure we can have some very cool projects in this area. But yeah, this is just like an idea or some direction you guys could be working towards. Then, oh yeah, I just got the message that also our product guy Fabian just joined the call. So in case there are some questions, he might even be even better at answering them with regards to the telco related use cases. But let me, before we jump into the Q&A, finish this slide real quick. Another big topic that we also have been always trying to do something. Also, Fabian is experienced in this area, the wallet side of things. Of course, we are building out an infrastructure layer, but this is just the foundation. At some point, we also want to have want to onboard our users into the whole Web3 area. And what is the easiest way to onboard users to Web3, or what is necessary? It's a wallet. And of course, also the infrastructure layer that we are building out right now. This is also the infrastructure, Web3 infrastructure layer that we aim to expose our Deutsche Telekom customer base to at some point. And this means, of course, also the Aleph Zero network. Oh, hi, Fabian. Then, of course, decentralized applications. This comes even after, I would say, I mean, we don't really need a telecom wallet to have decentralized applications, but of course we might be able to utilize decentralized applications, especially when it comes to the loyalty topics, as mentioned before, like cool decentralized games. This might be a way to, yeah, bond more with our customer base. Then on the entertainment, media, and this area, we are very, like one example where we are very strong is with Deutsche Telekom is sports. We are sponsoring Bayern Munich. We are also very big with Telekom baskets. Still, luckily, because they performed quite well. So there might also be ways to improve the experience of our customer base and our partners even. I mean, we have some very strong connections or strong partnerships with big partners. And if there's a good case for improving the experience of their customers and our customers, all our customers and theirs, then I think there can also be some really cool projects. And then lastly, to not talk too much here and dive into the Q&A, Deutsche Telekom has a huge focus on sustainability, especially when it comes to like carbon emissions and the carbon footprint and CO2 offsets. And of course, there are so many initiatives, even in the Web3 space right now. We are working with Celo there to some extent as well, or Celo is very big there as well. But yeah, so in the area of tokenizing these footprints or kind of utilizing them to offset also telecom emissions, I think we have the goal, correct me if I'm wrong, Fabian, to be, I think, completely carbon negative by 2030 at Deutsche Telekom. So there is, or even earlier, I'm not 100% sure. So there is potential. But yeah, that's it from the food for thought side. If you have any questions, please feel free to jump in and we will try to answer them as well as possible. Okan just asked if he can talk. I mean, you can also, if you have a question, feel free to just write it. Yeah.
Can I talk at least? You can hear me, Tobias, right?
Yes. Also, yeah, Fabian,
Okay.
if you want to add anything, you are probably 10 times more experienced on the use case side than
I have
me.
to say that regarding the sustainability goal, I'm not sure. I think we will not manage 2030. I think it's later because with that we have I think after I think we're the second biggest energy consumption company in Germany. So it's a tough goal, but sustainability is important, specifically when it comes to Horizon 3. So you have the sustainability goals. And as we are pushing pretty hard and doing a lot with Celo, this is kind of included already. So this is why everything that we would build up on top of Celo will be Horizon 3 energy positive. So this will be okay. Yeah, but I'm not sure whether I think yeah, Toby, you did a great job. So whenever there are questions regarding customer loyalty engagement or wallets, that's what I hope that I can answer. Yes. In the outlined areas, yes. I mean, what you saw is basically, so I covered this one for customer engagement loyalty. We are currently looking into customer loyalty and engagement for our customers, but as before going to the masses, we are currently preparing for a pilot for the employees just to see how adoption works and all the stuff. So, but this is basically where we're pretty much hard on. And regarding wallets, yes, we're on the topic. And what we do, I mean, basically, I'm not sure, Toby, whether you covered this because there was just a change to being the moderator. But yeah, the big question of how can we onboard the next billion users to Web3? And I think that we as a telco, we own an asset, meaning the mobile phone number, which is a unique identifier, which is distributed quite well relative to wallet addresses. And so what's quite obvious is that we would love to make the phone number being the unique identifier in the Web3 and make the handling of digital assets as easy as sending text. So this is what we're basically working on right now. It's not that easy because we try to merge both of best worlds. So what's the best part of Web 2 and Web 3, and try to bring it together. It's kind of hard because telco markets are heavily regulated. So this is where we kind of doing like a little trial and error and just like moving 2 steps ahead and 1 back. This is where we're currently looking into for the wallet
hello.
part. Hey, John.
So I have a question.
Yes.
My question, my question is, how can tacos help as an enabler for
Okay, let's move to the question asked by Ryan. You mentioned building your own infrastructure layer. In particular, practical terms, are you saying partner DLT platforms will be used for specific purposes depending on their strengths? Or how do you decide which layer 1 infrastructure to use?
I think, Toby, please correct me, or if you want to take this over. I think for staking, it's very much different than
for sure
when it comes to, yeah. So for the staking, I think, Toby, this is where we say, hey, but I would say in general, we open up for nearly everything. So this highly depends on the use case. So yeah, imagine, I mean, we're looking, we have to look pretty broadly into this topic. Also, when we're, for example, thinking about the phone number being like the main identifier in the future, we cannot go for one chain only. Me personally, I believe in this multi-chain future anyways. So depending on the use case, for sure, yeah, it's worth to have a look at the layer 1.
Yeah, so right now we have a very, Fabian said it quite well, we have a very agnostic approach. So we try to provide infrastructure and we try to do it as good and as reliable as possible. However, we are not supporting like any chain out there. There need to be multiple areas that need to be checked. On the one side, it needs to be at least have a sustainable outlook with regards to, I mean, one example would be developer adoption, but also on the business side, there needs to be also already a certain liquidity on the market. Then on the compliance side, we also have to check multiple boxes before even having possibility to work with some networks. So there are a lot of steps that need to go through when we onboard a network. So it's not that easy to become part of the telecom infrastructure layer. But in general, we try to not be exclusive when it comes to onboarding networks. It is limited though.
Yeah.
Okay, we have another question. Is there any SDK or tutorials on how to integrate telecom services into a app? For example, to integrate phone services.
So when you're thinking about like very traditional phone services, like we have two-factor authentication and all of these kind of things, or how to send SMS and integrate this via API, we have. There is a platform. I have to look it up, but we have a telco API platform. Let me check whether I can find it that fast. But you can make use of these services for sure. Regarding the services that we're currently building for Web3, they're not yet available. We're still in, kind of POC phase, currently preparing for a pilot, and but will be available as soon as possible. I mean, That's for sure. And also maybe taking the next question, how many customers we have. Taking into account that T-Mobile US is also part of Deutsche Telekom, we are about like 200 million customers worldwide, if we're talking about end customers.
Okay, I think that would be all regarding the questions. We will share the links later on. Fabian. Okay, just one more question. How do I fix one of the TVs? Okay.
We're not selling TVs, by the way, so.
Okay, we will write more about APIs later.
Yeah, I think I found it. Let me put this one into the chat. This is our developer portal. There we'll find like basic telco APIs that you can make use of. Yeah. And Toby, there's a question regarding the size of the MMS team. I cannot answer.
The MMS company is 2000 around. Deutsche Telekom in total, I think, is 200,000, but I am not 100% sure. Our team in the blockchain space is currently a little bit more than 15 people. Mainly developers, but also a few on the business side.
Yeah. There was another question regarding the phone numbers. So just let me read through this. For sure, you as a user, when it comes to privacy, and this is why we say, hey, we cannot store the phone number on chain because then anyone could easily get your number and yeah, use it for whatever reason. So this is why we're currently trying to figure out like what is the best approach of maybe an off-chain mapping and how to, for example, save an attestation on chain instead of the phone number. So this is what we're currently looking into. So privacy is key for sure, and we're looking into this in a way that we would, if you want to participate in certain Web3 experiences, then you would have to opt in for this. You would have to accept the terms and conditions. And this means by this, you would basically say, hey, you can create a wallet on a certain chain and map it to the mobile phone number that I have here. But you are always in control. You can decide whether you want to dissolve it at some point, and also if you're updating your phone number, we have to make sure that it's also the mapping of the phone number and the wallet address is updated. So, but you will always be in the driving role, and this is, I think, pretty important. Why telcos should do this for sure. I mean, we own the phone numbers; it's our asset, but technically, this is not that important, but the trust factor is very important for people to opt into this option.